Spring. Bright, warm weather pushing beautiful flowers up. Birds singing, bees buzzing. But sometimes reality is a little different. This year, my Zone 6A garden is still seeing snow, and the forecast has more freezing temperatures to come. So today, we are going to talk about how you know when to put plants outside or start seeds in your garden. You may remember that roughly April 18th, I put my tomato plants into my garden last year. This paid off great dividends, as I had ripe tomatoes by mid-June and giant tomato plants. This year, however, I doubt it'll be possible to start that early. Last year, I was already hardening off my plants by now, and the weather really hasn't been good enough to allow that so far this year. If you look at your seed packet, it likely references a last frost date, and depending on the type of seed you're planting, it suggests starting the plant either before or after that date, sometimes even by weeks. But what is a last frost date really? As we are seeing, every year is not exactly like the one before it. And some years, you keep getting cold weather late into the spring. I remember a May snowstorm here. So yes, by all means, follow the guides. And in the world of Google, it is not hard to know what your average last frost date is. Just enter your zip code and last frost date, and you will likely find it. Personally, I like to use the Farmer's Almanac website at almanac.com. They have a place where you can enter your zip code and actually get a guide as to when to start any of a number of different types of plants based upon your average frost date for your zip code. The caveat, however, is that this really is only just a guide. For plants that don't tolerate frost, I strongly recommend looking at your 10-day forecast when that average frost date is approaching. And make sure that there is nothing dipping even close to freezing 10 days out from that date. What is close to freezing? Well, I personally think that overnight lows dipping below 38 degrees would be enough to keep me from planting tomatoes or peppers. Of course, for cold hardy varieties, you are probably already good to get them planted out. Also, if you are risk averse but want to get those plants started, winter sowing, as we discussed in an earlier video, can be used to jumpstart the season without the risk of losing a crop to a late frost. It'd be a great opportunity to even perhaps speed up your germination times on certain plants now, still by using that winter sowing method. So be smart about your planting. The warm weather will come, and I'm looking forward to having you with me for another great season.